this point, what even is a good acoustic guitar? Can you look at a guitar and know if it's going to sound good plugged into a PA system? Old wisdom, you'd get a guitar that you love and you put a pickup in it that then sounds like that guitar, just louder and into the mains. Now that is not always the case, and so I have a challenge for you, and it's going to be super exciting. I'm Jeremy, this is Guitar Hunter. Here's the challenge. The challenge is, I'm going to play a bunch of guitars that have different pickups. Most would be generally categorized as acoustic guitars first and foremost. I might be tricking you on one or two. But I have a pedal board on the ground. It is just a tuner, and that's all I'm going to use it for. And it will just be straight into my Universal Audio Apollo. And so this is the most accurate, straight up, direct signal. Which one sounds like an acoustic guitar? And I will show you the one guitar that we're really going to be talking about in particular, and we'll come around and we'll talk about at the end. This is the Fender Highway series Dreadnought. This is one of the brand new, looks kind of like an acoustic guitar. It's weird. It looks strange. This is a very cool new kind of idea of an acoustic guitar. Now, so let's dig in. I'm Jeremy. This is Guitar Hunter. Let me know what you hear and see, what you detect in this, and at the end we'll come back and I will give my full opinions and my review. It is absolutely remarkable to me how different those sounded and how some felt really comfortable to play and some didn't. Now, to me, these are all my guitars. Keep that in mind. I own every one of these guitars that you have just heard. So there is a place for all of these pickups. But for me, I tend to really, really like that completely warm, powerful K&K tone. I really like that pickup. That's a very lively, feels like the guitar itself. Behind that, I love the Anthem SL. I have that. I actually only picked one of the guitars, but I have that in 4 of my guitars right now. And so for me, the Anthem SL is just great because it has a microphone and a transducer, and you can blend between the two. And it's a very lively but still nostalgic sounding acoustic guitar. Now, I did throw in 2 curveballs in here. Number 1, I threw in a PRS custom, or this is a P22. So this is basically a custom 22 with the piezo pickup in there. You could tell it's very, very cheesy dad rock, jangly acoustic guitar at an open mic. This is my least favorite acoustic guitar tone. But the guitar that we need to talk about is this, and that's the reason that this video is even happening. This is the Highway series. This is the Dreadnought from Fender, and I want to talk about this thing, what I like about this thing, what I don't like about this thing, and advice if you're in the market for this. Should you buy it? So let's run through this really quickly. What do I like about this guitar? There is tons of really cool innovation in this. Now, this guitar did come to me. Fender sent this guitar to me. I did not pay for it. But man, I love this guitar. And I love the idea of this guitar. And it has been really fashionable to just poo-poo and hate on the all the Acoustasonic stuff so far. Especially the American Jazzmaster. That was the one that, just the way that drop worked out, it became a funny joke to just make fun of that guitar, and I feel like most people missed who that guitar is for. That guitar is for someone that wants a name they recognize on the headstock in a comfortable guitar that is easy to play, that is light and easy on their back, and is not that expensive and easy on their wallet. So for me, the Acoustasonic has always made sense to me. I'm like, yeah, there's lots of guys that want that. You know, it's probably not me. It's probably an audience a little older than me. But all in, I have loved this guitar. So what is there to really like about the Highway Series Dread? Now, this is quite different than the Acoustasonics that have come before this. This is, if the Acoustasonic was splitting the difference between a Telecaster and an acoustic guitar, this is probably another 50% closer to acoustic guitar. Fender is not very good at making acoustic guitars, but I think that this is wide open territory for them. I think this is where they shine. And so it's a good, pretty convincing sounding acoustic guitar. And yeah, so everything I like about this, one of the tiny details I really love are these tuners. They are, so you look on the back and you're like, oh, that's cool. They are vintage style tuners, but then you start noticing there are no screws in the back of these tuners. And so that's what I realized. I flip it around and you see the nut on the bushings on the front. This is an entirely new kind of tuners, at least as far as I have noticed and paid attention to. And so for me, that's a really cool upgrade. So it really splits the difference between the vintage style tuner, but also maintains the quality of a modern tuner. So you get the vintage, you get the modern, it's very cool. The pickup itself, I think, is very cool and accurate sounding. This guitar does have some sorcery, some electronic sorcery that does sound really good. I typically am not a huge fan of how Fishman approaches acoustic guitar tones. They usually say, hey, let's take your signal and run it through some sorcery and software and make it sound like a world-class guitar, where I would rather own a world-class guitar that amplifies it and sounds exactly like that. This thing does come from a different kind of stance than that. But the guitar overall is incredibly comfortable to play. I cannot tell you, every Acoustasonic I've had, the most remarkable thing to me is the feel of the back of the neck and the feel of the side of the fretboard. They are, I mean, they're incredibly good. So it's a very comfortable guitar. If you're an electric guitar player, this guitar is going to feel like home. If you're an acoustic guitar player, it's still going to feel a little skinny, a little smaller, but it's very, very comfortable. Now, let's switch gears to the things that I don't like about this guitar, because there are probably more than I would think on a guitar that is $1,000. So for me, number one, the pickup is still incredibly bright sounding. And so with that, there's no way to really roll off the tone and the treble. You can blend between 2 modes with the tone knob down here, but even then it's It's not a remarkable difference in tone. I would have hoped that it would have been a very dramatic, a very dark, brooding, maple-sounding guitar to a very bright and chimey small-body guitar. Like, that's how they've done normally in the other Acoustasonics. So with this, the tone is a little boring to me, and it's not super tweakable. I opened up the back to see if there were any dip switches or any little pots back here that I could change to get the tone. That's how PRS does some of theirs and some of the Fishman stuff, and I figured maybe there's a chance, but no dice. There was no real control on how to swap this thing around. So in the end, there are a couple things that I find, there are a couple little details. Okay, here's one. I'm gonna have to take a picture and I'll show you. I'll do this, but then I'll change and show you. So see this strap button? See that icon? See the middle of the bridge? Can you see the seam down the middle? Here's the thing, kind of none of them are really that accurately lined up. So the strap button is centered on the top of the guitar. The top of the guitar is centered on the bridge, but this little icon is just, it's not centered. It is not a bad construction, but it's just a little design detail that for whatever reason, since I built a guitar, I built a Showalter OM, it's just a tiny little detail that gets me. But the things I don't like about this guitar, that's about it. I mean, I don't really have much to say. I wish the tone was a little more tweaky, and I wish that just some of the details were just a little closer designed. All in, should you buy this guitar? If you're in the market for a good sounding acoustic guitar tone that is light, it's from a company you like and a company that you trust, and you want it to be reliable, I think that this ticks all of those boxes. Now with that, you're gonna take some flack, but you're also gonna get some excitement. If you play this out, people are gonna be like, whoa, what is that thing? It's so different than what I've seen before. On the flip side, people that have seen it and don't like it, or have seen other YouTube comments that don't, whatever, you're gonna have to build up that moxie in yourself, that resilience to just say, okay, this thing is cool for me. It doesn't matter if it's cool for other people. That's my one kind of big takeaway. All in, I love this guitar. I need to tell you, I really have regretted selling my Acoustasonic Players Telly, the white one. It's a remarkable guitar. I used to come out here and just play it. Now I sold it because I have amazing world-class acoustic guitars, and I love the way they sound, I love the way they play. And so for me, I just found myself, I didn't quite have an Acoustasonic Players Telly itch that needed to be scratched, but it is a remarkably fun guitar. The best thing about this guitar is that it comes with the FT1225 or the F1225 gig bag. The best thing Fender is making right now is a gig bag, and it is remarkable. I absolutely love this gig bag. It is stiff and rigid and helpful, and it fits on your back really well like backpacks do, but it also has tons of storage. It's an amazing deal. It's typically like 140 bucks, and they just throw it in with this guitar. So this is a Mexican-made Fender that comes with a gig bag. I thought that was a thing in the past, but it's a thing right now. So yeah, I hope you hear me when I say I'm excited about this thing. I like this. I see who this is for. I hope you see who it's for. Might not be you, but if it's not for you, let stuff roll off your back. That's a good skill to develop. So thanks for watching this video. I'm Jeremy. This is Guitar Hunter. This has been the Fender Highway Series Acoustic. Thanks to Fender for sending me this. And most of all, thank you to every one of you who has liked this channel, subscribed to this channel, liked the video, shared it with a friend, become a channel member, or become a patron. That is why this channel exists. I want to help you find the right guitars for you. That will be the guitars for life that help you become the best version of yourself, that makes music, that makes friends, and fills the world with music and friendship. I'm Jeremy. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye. Thank you.